I want to start with obviously the most pressing situation I think this country has right now, which is the situation between Russia and Ukraine. It's a situation that a lot of people, a lot of Republicans think, and the Ukrainians think, that President Biden has made worse. If in this situation, all of a sudden you were handed the gavel, you can run the whole situation, what exactly would you do today to fix it?
Well, it's a tricky question because it wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened. This was not even thinkable. And China wouldn't have happened. And what's going to happen with Taiwan now and lots of other problems.
What do you think is going to happen?
I think that after the Olympics, it'll be a very interesting period of time because they see the way we withdrew from Afghanistan, the horrible way, not the fact that we did, because I was the one that got it down to 2,000 soldiers, but we were getting out with strength and dignity and the equipment and no death. What happened is terrible, and the world watched, and they watch our borders where people are flooding into our country. We have no idea who they are, where they come from. And things are happening now that are very bad. I've never seen anything like what's happening to our country.
But let's say right now Biden calls you up and says, I have no idea what to do here. Tell me what to do. What would you say to do at this moment?
You have to project strength. Yeah. He doesn't have any respect for our leadership. He doesn't have any respect for our country anymore. They respected our country, and frankly, they respected our leader a year ago. This was not something that was ever going to happen. Supply chain was never going to happen. Many things weren't going to happen. Inflation, when you look at that, you look at the crime rate in the cities, what's happening to Democrat-run cities.
Yeah.
But this was something in Ukraine that was never going to happen. This was not on the books.
Should they go after the pipeline?
Well, I think this was something that Putin would have always liked to have done, but he didn't see the opportunity, certainly not in the last few years.
Yeah.
So Victor Davis Hanson, who's a terrific, I think, historian and philosopher, said, one thing with Trump, nothing happened during the Trump years with respect to Russia. Much happened before, you know that, and much happened right now after, but nothing happened. Frankly, nothing happened with respect to any country. They didn't take advantage of us. We got back in the swim. We made better trade deals. We did a lot of good things, but nothing happened that was negative to the United States.
A lot of Republicans are calling for the transcripts of the phone call between Zelensky and Biden. The phone call, it's been reported, was a nightmare, even reported by CNN to have been a nightmare. They went hard for you for transcripts on a phone call. Do you think Biden will release them the way that you did?
Well, I gave mine out very openly. They didn't even ask for them. I gave them out because they made up my phone call. They said I said this and that 8 times, quid pro quo. 8 times. You're going to say 8 times? I want this, I want that. 8 times the same thing. Just so crazy. It was Schiff, he's a nut job, and all these people. No, I gave mine out, and it's lucky we had a transcript because they lied about my call. They lied totally. I got impeached over a fake, phony story that they made up. It would be interesting to see the call. I suspect the call was pretty much like they said, but it's not going to change anything. Not going to change anything, but it certainly would be interesting to see it.
And do you think Russia makes any moves? Do you think they go?
It's looking like they will. I would have said it's not even possible. This is not something that ever would have happened if we were there. But it's looking to me, Rob, like they will make a move.
The first year of this presidency.
By the way, excuse me. At a minimum, they're going to negotiate a lot of good stuff. Because if they don't make a move, Biden will give them everything.
Yeah. The first year of this presidency, I know you have a lot of thoughts about that. There's a 17% approval of the direction that this country is going in right now. 17% of Americans think we're going in the right direction.
Is that the lowest ever?
It might be. I don't know the answer to
that.
I can't imagine it being much lower unless, maybe the Great Depression. Maybe the Great Depression. But that's a Gallup poll, by the way. Your reaction to that?
Well, I've never heard of a number like that. That's the lowest number I've ever heard. So I don't know if it's a record or not. But as you say, the Great Depression, maybe if they ever did it during the Great Depression. There was no money to do polls in the Great Depression, right?
Yeah.
But no, it's a terrible number. And it's probably high.
I think the biggest problem that we have of all the problems that we've accumulated in the last year has got to be inflation. You've got regular Americans that work hard are much poorer underneath this administration than they were a year ago or 2 years ago. And the inflation is very bad. It doesn't indicate that it's going to slow down. It doesn't look like it's going to slow down. What needs to be done? This is the stuff that you guys did well. You guys were great with economic stuff. You had a great team, a great economic team. What should they do? What does the Fed need to do to nip this right now so it doesn't get any worse?
I don't really think it's the biggest problem, but it's a real big one. I think the biggest problem is what's happening on our border. Millions and millions of people are coming into our country. We have no idea who they are. And not only millions of people, but billions and billions of dollars worth of drugs at a level 10 times what it was a year ago. And I think that's probably the biggest problem right now, because it's going to take a long time to fix.
Yeah.
But inflation could be done much more easily, frankly, if you got your energy costs down. Inflation was hurt very badly by the energy, because when I was there, it was $1.87 a gallon for gas. And now you know what it is? It's like $5, $6, and even $7 in places in California. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's a fourfold and threefold increase. I think that if you got the energy down, we were energy independent first time in many, many decades. I mean, maybe ever. They say 72 years, I think maybe ever. And we were energy independent, think of that.
Yeah.
And we had low gasoline and fuel prices, energy prices. And now they've gone up so much that I think they have driven the price of almost everything up, because energy is all invasive. It's all over, right? And I really think if you got the energy prices down very substantially, inflation would have a chance to come down.
Should the Fed, the Fed's talking about interest rate hikes in this year. I think there may be maybe 3 or 4 hikes this year. A lot of people, a lot of economists have said, even on my show, that they got to hike more than they're anticipating doing if they want to get this under control. Do we need a dramatic hike? They've kept it low for a long time.
Yeah.
You know,
you're going to have to do something about the inflation, and that's one of the ways that you solve the inflation problem. I was here when the prime rate went to 21%. That was during the Jimmy Carter years. Jesus. And the same thing could happen right now.
Yeah.
Energy costs are so high. We're going back to OPEC, and we're going to Russia to ask for energy for the east coast of the United States. Can you believe it? They're the ones supplying it. You know, New England, which tends to be on the liberal side, has the highest energy prices in the country, and they're fueled by Russia. The whole thing, it's not even, who can even believe this? We didn't need anybody's energy when I was there. We were energy independent. We made our own, and it was very inexpensive.
The funniest thing is, after all the pandering that we saw over climate change from this administration, I mean, they sold themselves as warriors on this issue. The Washington Post reporting that the Biden administration has outpaced your administration in issuing drilling on public lands for oil and gas, which to me, frankly, is hilarious. How ridiculous does that look to you after everything that they said?
Well, it's pretty ridiculous. And I think that, you know, the bottom line is we're taking in a lot less energy because we don't have energy to fuel ourselves. Yeah. So, you know, we had tremendous amounts of excess energy, so much so that I filled up the strategic reserves. First time in 40 years that they were right to the top. They were empty. And now Biden is using the strategic reserves that I filled up to try and reduce oil prices. Can you believe this? And they're not meant for that. They're meant in case of war, et cetera. But I filled them up, 75 million barrels. I filled them up at very low prices.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.